Hello all, welcome back to our channel. So here is a very simple code, and this code is available in public domain from this link you can see here. So a very simple code, and this is to interface Arduino Uno to 16 cross 2 LCD. So you can see here what they are doing is they are basically associating the LCD interface the Arduino pin number. Like example, the register select pin is associated with 12, and then these are passed to LCD function. So we aren't doing anything. You can see here the initialization, everything is taken care by the inbuilt library. The inbuilt library is liquidcrystal.h. So if you have this library, you just need to use those functions. That's as simple as that. Okay, so you're just calling this function for initialization, and then what you're saying is you're setting up the number of rows and columns by saying lcd.begin of 16 comma 2, and then you're printing hi from where to know. That's it. And then post this setup, that means once it's going to print in the loop, what we are going to do is we are setting up the cursor in the line 1. Okay, and then what we are doing is we are trying to print the seconds. So once you start the board or once you reset the board, the count starts from 0 and then it increments like 1 2 3. That's very simple code you can see here. While this is the easiest part, the most difficult part for the beginners, especially for experienced engineers, it's just a matter of few seconds. For beginners, they do struggle how to connect these pins, and especially the most observation that we have seen or most questions that we come across is on the contrast pin. Or the first question is everything is fine, code is fine, connections are fine, but the LCD is not working. So what should we do? Let's see that. You can see here this Arduino Uno board is connected to the display, and we are showing hi from where to know. So right now the counter is set to 0, so it's not incrementing, so we can see that later. But you can see the connections here. All these connections are straightforward. Like if you already study the pinout of this LCD, which is very straightforward. It and then the pins which are on the Arduino. And then we have seen in the code that we have assigned specific pins to those LCD pins, specific Arduino pins to those LCD pins. The only one point which confuses most of the engineers is this guy. So here there is a contrast pin, which is the third pin. You can see here this blue wire goes along. Okay, and this particular guy is the most confusing guy in LCD. Like example, you can see here, if we adjust this, it goes off. Okay, and then again we are trying to adjust. See, with a minimal setting of with a basic setting of this pot, you can see in live here, it goes off. And sometimes see, you can see some of the times you see these blocks in LCD. That is because it could be, the problem could be related to the contrast pin voltage. So this is one tricky thing for the beginners. So for this LCD we have set up 0.98 volts to the contrast pin. So for your LCD, ensure that you give proper voltage to that contrast pin so that you don't see those blocks or you don't see the screen blank. So that's one critical thing. Otherwise the connections are straightforward.